This is Football Daft with Stephen Purden,
midfield dynamo and average actor,
Chris Toll,
target man, suspicious character,
and
With the top end of Stevenson, Greeno!
Welcome to Football Daft. It is the daftest Scottish football podcast around, and it is the day after the Old Firm. So let's introduce the team. First, a man with a bigger smile than Boris Johnson getting an invite to a party. It's Chris Toll sporting what looks to be a Callum McGregor-esque mask.
How you doing, guys?
Good mate.
That man there. Listen, got to applaud him. He's fallen down a set of stairs. Celtic have beat Rangers and he kicked fuck out a bin earlier on. It's Stephen Purden.
Fuck it, a bin.
Tell you what, Stevie, I bet you wish you were on 2 doors down and all.
I was talking to Grado earlier and I said, what a good week not to be doing the podcast, Grado, man. No, but it's been a tough week, you know. Tough week. But hey, we dust ourselves down and we go again.
We go again. Right, let's get into it, boys. Chris has turned up in the mask, ready to go. His dog's even getting excited.
Sorry, troops.
The game last night, Stephen, I'm going to come to you first because I think you're going to have a lot to say on this. You have the floor, my friend.
Where the fuck do I start? I'm not going on one of my Clancy rants, right? I can't be asked.
Right.
I'm just going to be honest. Rangers v Celtic daft. Toll wasn't far away his prediction. He said 4-0. Do you know something? That first half, it should have been 6-0 to Celtic. That first half, Celtic, they done what we all knew these were going to do, but for some reason the players, and do you know what? It's a mixture of both, right? I lay a lot of the blame at Gio's door. We went into the winter break 6 points ahead. We're now fucking a point behind. Do you know what I mean? It's that's not good enough. The way how deep we are when we go away from home in the league, teams we play, how fucking deep. Kemar Roof was in his own half for most of that game. Now that just plays into Celtic's hands.
Do you know what you're saying there, Stephen? Do you know what you're saying there? There was a point during the game last night, quite early on, and I looked, and the only player in the Celtic half was Joe Hart.
It's terrible, mate.
All of the players were in the Rangers half.
We were so deep. I mean, right, even before the winter break, right, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to go on a rant, right?
Yes.
Even before the winter break, right, we go to Tynecastle. We win 2-0, right? We scored 2 early goals. Let's not kid ourselves on. After that, Hearts absolutely battered us, right? They hit the post, they hit the bar, right? They were all errors. We go to Hibs. We get the 3 points due to a late penalty for Roof. We go to Pittodrie. We absolutely shite the bed. I think if you look at the stats for that game, Aberdeen had more possession. We go to Ross County with 3 brain farts, dropping our 2 points. And then we go to Celtic Park. The pattern in all this is we go to these grounds and we give teams too much respect. We sit after them. We let them have the ball. We used to have this high press on the ball and after the ball. There was a high intensity. That's all gone. I genuinely would love somebody to sit down and show me what Gio's trying to do, because it doesn't look, we don't look like we're trying to do. You've got a team there full of so much attacking potential, and he's fucking taking all that out the team now with the way he wants to set up. It's square pegs and round holes. We don't know how to sit, and we can't do that. And then you're just playing into Celtic's hands. And I fucking take my hat off to Celtic. He's absolutely played some scintillating stuff. You tore us to shreds. And like I'm saying, it should have been there at half time. And if somebody said to me at half time, this game's going to finish 3-0, I would have said, nah. I thought it was going to be 5-6. The only shining light was Brian Jack. When he came off the bench, he looked really good.
Sakala was pretty good when he came on.
I
thought Sakala was all right when he came on.
He was all right, man. I thought Juranovic was my man of the match for you. I thought
He was incredible.
Brilliant.
Incredible. Greg Taylor, and hats off to Greg Taylor as well.
That's the thing. What McCoy said is bang on. You look at it, man. A lot of what we done last season, Barisic and Tav, both of them absolutely shot the bed last night, especially Borna. Honestly, if I'd seen Borna last night, I don't know what I'd have fucking, oh my God, how much he fucking absolutely went into his shell was incredible, right? But then you look at Greg Taylor and you look at Juranovic, and then you look at Jota, and you look at Abada, and you look at fucking Kent, and you look at the boy we've got for Man U. 4 of them didn't want to know, and 4 of them lost the game. That's what I ran out of how many times you went down the left side or the right side and you said men over and then you'd play a ball to Hatate or Callum McGregor. I ran out of how many times you've done it. It was I nearly pulled out my fucking hair transplant. Honestly, it was doing my fucking head in. But fair play. See what Andrew's done. It's incredible. It is. See what he's done. See, we really should have put the foot on the throat at the start of this season. We should have been out of sight, right? We should have been, the way you started the season, the way we were picking up points, we should have, but we have stood still. What he's done coming into Scottish football, that team he's assembled, you've got to applaud it because the way he's got you playing is incredible. And last night, you seen a team who have bought into a manager's philosophy and they're fucking gung-ho for it. And then the other side, you seen a team who don't know what the fuck they're doing because they don't know what the manager wants them to do.
Do you think that's it? I mean, it was staggering from a neutral perspective. You're sitting back and going, and I'm guessing you were saying this to Stephen as well, Stephen. Why are they sitting off them so much?
I've been saying it for weeks, John. I've said it at Pittodrie. I've said it at Tynecastle. I've said it at Ross County. And then it baffles me because then Van Bronckhorst comes out after the game at the weekend and he says it's some of the best football he's seen us play under him. And it has been when we went 2-1 down till we go 3-2 in front. Right? So if that's what he's saying, he should be going, you need to go and start games like that. Last night, man, see for the first 2 minutes, you knew the way that game was going to go. You knew it. You could just, the writing was on the wall. It was just a matter of time. Mm-hmm. You just knew Celtic were going to score and they were going to just run out of tapas. The only thing I would be raging about is if I was a Celtic fan, no raging, just a bit disappointed, is that you didn't take about 6 or 7 halves.
You know, I was talking to my mates last night on the group chat. Quite a lot of them were slating McGregor, and I said to them, I was like, listen, see if he's not in goals, that's fucking 5 or 6 nothing at half time.
Aye, especially the double save it does for fucking Jackie Marcus and was it Jota and Jackie Marcus and Abada?
Aye, you're right. Do you know, see when it was 1-0 and he was making all these saves, it felt like a kind of Tommy Burns, Walter Smith game.
Because, see if Aribo plays that ball to Arfield, it's not even a hard ball to play. See if he just plays a ball to Arfield, it's one-on-one with Arfield, and then 2 minutes later, you've got to part and score. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the fucking, do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Chris, from a Celtic point of view, where did Ange get it right? Was it just the intensity that he started the game? Because, I mean, Celtic, like Stephen says, came out of the traps like 100
John, I've been saying that for weeks and weeks and weeks. I said it on Celtic v Rangers Daft. We came out in the first half and we absolutely fucking attack fuck out teams, man, and we just hammer them and hammer them and hammer them. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But then again, in the second half, because we've been going at them so much in the first, I kind of feel as if we're dropping off a bit. And I think to a certain extent that happened again last night as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Joke is done, though, mate. Joke is done.
Well, I said that as well, didn't I not say if we're going to beat them, we need to do it. It needs to be done in the first half. And I think they done that, and I think they know that's their strength. Like you said, Stevie, some of the football that we're playing is outstanding. It really is.
There was one where was it Jackie Marcus again, and McGregor saved it again. He's totally ripped his open, man. It was like bang, 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 bang. And that was what was doing my nut in last night. That is like, we get the ball and it's so laboured and so passive. We can't even pass a ball from here to there. And then Celtic get the ball, and even when you're just making 2-3 yard passes, it's fucking zipped in and you're moving. When you pass it, you're moving. We're playing it. How much time does fucking Connor Goldson think he's got to get in a ball to pass the ball? Honestly, I just don't know if the players. A lot of the players need to take the blame as well. Like Borna Barisic last night, him and Ryan Kent and Glenn Kamara shouldn't be seeing the Rangers tap for a good few weeks. Honestly, they need to get fucking benched. It's a really fucking sad state of affairs when a guy who's been out with such a fucking serious career-threatening injury for how many months comes on the park and geese cunts are showing up. Do you know what I mean? In his own team. Ryan Jack came on last night as if, what the fuck are you doing? Do you know what I mean? It's like Glenn Kamara, man. He just hides. See when there's no a Steve Davis or a fucking Ryan Jack next to him, he just fucking hides, honestly. It's in Bournemouth. Oh my God, for a bad as goal, man. Jesus fucking Christ.
The first thing that you ever learn as a defender is you don't let the ball bounce.
Nah.
He stood and waited on that ball rather than going to it. And
well, he waited on it, then he just started doing squats.
But that's what I was going to say. Before Abada's even hit the ball,
he's on the deck.
He's on his knees.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Or on his arse, basically. But I'll honestly say that's the worst Rangers performance I've seen since.
Mate, do you know what that was? That was going back 5 years. It was going back 5 years.
That was Kishina level stuff, man.
Aye.
It really was.
I mean,
what do you make it, John? You're a neutral.
Well, I mean, you just watched it, and just when you're watching Rangers last night, Celtic obviously they were just flew out the traps, and you think, fuck hell. I mean, some brilliant saves from McGregor to keep it down, and then you're screaming at the telly, why are you fucking standing off them? It was basic stuff. Get on them tight, because you're not going to get anywhere. You think you've got Diallo there, and you think, where's the opportunity on this pitch? Get the ball into Diallo, you let him go at Greg Taylor. He, I think, was just the whole atmosphere. I think he was just shit scared of it.
Rabbit in the headlights.
It was a rabbit in the headlights. Absolutely.
And Kent, honestly, Kent just shot himself for Juranovic. Juranovic had him in his back pocket, and you're going, wee man, like, how Gio's not going, right, switch, go near that side. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, like, fucking go near that side, take a breath, fucking gets the ball, man, step over, Juranovic is like, right, geezer. You're like, Kent, man. One thing
I did notice about Ryan Kent is if you took his hair and put it on my head, I'd have a full head of hair.
Stephen, obviously the first goal is really important in an Old Firm game. Ali McCoist on commentary thought it was fine. I've seen a few ex-Rangers.
I don't know what we were talking about. I don't know, like Chris Boyd saying you've got to stop the play. Do you fuck? Like, me and my mates are sitting watching it last night, and you're going, there's no way you're stopping the play for that. Not a fucking chance. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what Tav's moaning about. Like, fucking, is it Aribo and Bassey have into each other? You're going, you're not going to stop the play for that.
But see, the thing is, I genuinely, to me, it didn't look like a head knock. It looked as if the two of them clashed shoulders.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the way Bassey's fell down, he's maybe bumped his head or something. That's why he's been like kind of looked as if.
If that's the other way about, I'm laughing, going as if I was going to play for that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's fair, mate. That's fair, because I've seen a few ex-Rangers players complaining about that. Just got to get a mention to Hatate, Chris. I mean, 1.5 million was it? What a fucking find that is. I mean, see the way he hits the ball. For that's it. Unbelievable.
Well, no wonder somebody at Celtic Park's wearing a fucking mask, because it's daylight robbery. Do you know what I mean? Like,
my mate said last night it reminded me when the Ravchik signed for Celtic.
When he turned down as if and didn't know what to do to celebrate. That's exactly what that reminded me. Exactly what it reminded me. But I don't. There was not one Celtic player that doesn't get pass marks last night. They were outstanding to a man.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Every one of them.
So, I mean, that obviously leaves Celtic 1 point ahead. Stephen, what do Rangers need to improve on to...
There better be a fucking major heated fucking debate, inquest, a lot today. They better be wanting to punch fuck at each other, arguing each other, screaming at each other. There needs to be... Gio needs to he needs to understand we can't play that way. How many games, like I say, the Hibs game, the Hearts game, the only game I remember is going to be filming actually playing well was Livy, the 3-1 game at the fucking Spaghetti had. But you're going, we need to change the tactics now. We need to, and you're going, right, if I'm going to get a bit of perspective, right, nothing's won or lost last night, but it's a big fucking psychological blow, right? There's the momentum was with Celtic going into the game. and now there's no fucking doubt that they're running away. We need to get Morelos back. You need to get Ramsey fit. You need to make sure Ryan Jack's in that team. You need to get Balogun playing centre half. You need to get Barisic on the bench. You need to get Kent on the bench. There needs to be a fucking rejig, and we need to fucking really just assess what we're trying to do here. Because, like I said earlier, I do not know what brand of football we're trying to play right now.
Right, yeah.
Under Gio. I really don't. I don't. And I like to think I know my football. I sit and watch football nearly every day of the fucking week. But I do not know what we're trying to do now. I don't.
Yeah.
See, if you're sitting there, if you're Gio and you're going, right, we need to sit in, we're trying to be a defensive fucking model here. A defensive model needs to have a focal point, somebody holding the ball up. No, your fucking main man up front, sitting in your own area. Plus, a defensive setup and a defensive model doesn't go in fucking 3-0 down at half time and doesn't concede 3 goals to Ross County either. So something needs to give, something needs to change.
I'll tell you something. See if they play like that against Dortmund. Dortmund will take about 8 halfies.
Aye, in the first leg.
I think both, but I mean Celtic's frailties, and Chris has pointed out, is they come out hot in the first half and then they drop off in that second half, and teams can maybe get at them. I mean, I think both sides are going to drop points. I don't think it's just going to come down to the Old Firm games. I'll be honest with you.
See the thing is, but right. See the thing is, Celtic run out of steam, right? See, like, right. Let's look at it. Carter Vickers, Hatate, Maeda, Jota. Did Jota play at Ibrox?
I think you need to give Matt O'Reilly a shout
No.
out.
Aye, that's what I'm trying to talk. Did Jota play at Ibrox? I don't think he did he?
I can't.
I'm trying to think of players that have never played in Old Firm last night for Celtic.
No, because Hedwig.
Jota didn't play at Ibrox.
No, he didn't play Ibrox. No,
Right, Jota, O'Reilly, Hatate, Maeda, Carter Vickers. Right, these players last night after that game must have been going, is that it? Like, are they the champions? Is that the team that we need to compete with this season? That's how easy must they have found that last night. Now, O'Reilly couldn't get a game for MK Dons, and he's coming up here and he's playing in midfield with McGregor and that, and he's knocking the ball about, and it's the easiest shift of their life. Now, that for me, like, know what you're saying, John, we'll drop a lot more points than Celtic if that's the way we're going to play. Do you know what I mean? Celtic now have got the fucking bit between their teeth where they can go, before we kick a ball against a very capable Hearts team who could come and very fucking get a result against us, you never know. Celtic could be 4 points ahead. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
it's worrying, man. It's really, we've been getting away with it, like I say, Hearts, Hibs, but then it's caught up with Pittodrie, Ross County, and last night, man, that is... Oh. Yeah. I
mean...
So that's it for me this week, guys. Just take care, right?
Right, John, get the Rebels on.
Aye, 3rd of April is the next Old Firm. I would think you've got yourself sorted out by then. You would hope. Well,
did you say the 1st of April?
3rd of April. 3rd of April.
Damn.
A lot of football to be played between then and now. So, I mean, looking at the other games across the week there, Dundee United 0-0 was apparently one of the worst fucking 0-0s in the history of 0-0s.
Hearts as well.
Hearts and Hibs. No, that was actually a decent game. Big win for St
Johnstone. St Johnstone, that's the result of the night for them, man.
That's mad that they're off the bottom of the table with 1-1.
I know.
Absolutely.
For some reason, I thought they were well adrift. I don't know why.
Who is bottom now? Dundee
are on bottom on goal difference now. Ross County as well managed a point at Pittodrie. I mean, 18-18 St Johnstone Dundee. Ross County there in 23. In the pack, just in the middle, looking, can Livingston fall back into it? Can St Mirren fall back into it? I'll be interested to see. But it's starting to kind of take shape, the league now, so we'll wait and see what happens. Other big talking points in Scottish football, I think we've got to talk about it. It's dominated Twitter, it's dominated national news this week. The transfer of David Goodwillie to Wraith Rovers from Clyde. Just today, the saga started with the transfer going through, Val McDermott pulling her sponsorship, other sponsors pulling out, directors resigning, the women's captain pulling out, then the women's team are now going to set out on their own, the Tannoy announcer, the Wraith Rovers TV, all stepping away from the club.
And did you see Graham Spears' tweet today?
Aye, ridiculous.
What the
ridiculous.
fuck is that?
What did Graham Spears say?
Graham Spears says, what he did in 2011 was heinous, but there is now a key issue facing the Scottish football community. How to help David Goodwin, how to rehabilitate him, yes, how to protect him, how to prevent a kind of medieval witch hunt. We cannot create a pariah.
I mean, well, as we record the podcast, this is a Thursday afternoon, Wraith Rovers basically doubled down on a statement they sent, but now have basically come out, held up the hand and said, we've got it wrong.
It's amazing what fucking money will do, isn't it? It really is amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
What happened to morality? Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
We're maybe not the right people to be standing on any sort of soapboxes, right? Talking about this, it's maybe not the right subject for Football Daft, but I'll tell you, if it was my club, I would be absolutely fucking disgusted.
Yeah,
I would be disgusted.
I mean,
the thing is, what Graham Spears is saying, like, there's now a key issue facing the Scottish football community. This is bigger than the Scottish football community.
Yeah,
this is you need to think of the victim here, and he's saying how to help David Goodwillie, how to rehabilitate him. How can you help somebody and rehabilitate somebody who doesn't admit to having a fucking problem?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the first thing you see with AA, right? They say that the first step is admitting that you've got a problem, right? Mm-hmm. Now, that's when you get the help that you need. Like you said there, Stevie, see if he's not willing to admit what he's done, which has been proven not in a court of law, but in a civil court. Right. He tried to settle out a court and all of that as well. See if you're innocent. I'm sorry, if you're innocent, you try to clear your name. You don't try to clear things out of court. You want to have your day in court to prove your innocence.
Exactly. It reeks of being fucking guilty, mate.
100%. And you know, I like football. I notice a lot more women going to football nowadays than there's ever been. Right? And do you think? How do you think they feel standing on a terracing or in a stand, and there's a man on the park that's been guilty of such a fucking disgusting act against a woman?
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It's like we're saying, right? This probably is the best platform, but it's Football Daft, and we can't no talk about such a fucking highlighted issue in Scottish football this week. And I think it's what Graham Spears is saying there. It's disgusting, and Wraith Rovers ought to be ashamed of themselves, because Toll's right. See, when the shit really hits the fan, and let's not kid ourselves here, it's all about the money with Wraith Rovers now. Mm-hmm. They're all they're worried, going, oh fuck. It's the actual fucking humanity, the moral compass of the whole thing. It's fucked, because Wraith Rovers have fucked it in the first place, even approaching this matter and going to have this guy in the club, and then when the finances are getting pulled from beneath them, they're shiting themselves. So it's not about them doing the right thing. The right thing should have been done in the first place by not even attempting to go near somebody like that.
I think Graham Spears he's fucking, this will be the hill that he's fucking strung up on, because I think what he's trying to say is people deserve a second chance, right? But there is certain people who, let's be honest, that guy's a danger.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that guy's a danger. Now, I'm all for people getting second chances, but that doesn't mean that he needs to get a second chance at being a professional footballer. Right? By all means, go and do something else. But he'll be living a fairly luxurious life compared to a lot of people that go out there and work day in, day out, and have never, ever broke any laws, or would never think of putting their hand on a woman or a man or anything like that in that sort of situation, right? And I think Scottish football as a whole needs to have a look at itself, because see, if you're all right, he wasn't convicted in a court of law. I know that's a lot of people's point of argument, right? But he was convicted in a civil court. He was found guilty in a civil court, right? And see, if that's the case, I think Scottish football needs to have a look at the way the NFL does it and stuff like that. Like, see if somebody's found guilty of something like that, that's them. They're out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
They're out of the game and they're no longer welcome in the game.
Aye, exactly. I agree, mate. 100%.
But football supporters are fickle, you know, and if Dave Goodwillie did turn up at Wraith Rovers and he started scoring goals and won them promotion or what have you,
Aye.
it's easily forgotten. You know, you can't do that. There's got to be a moral compass, hasn't there?
I mean, you just look Mason Greenwood as well. I mean, look,
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening too much in football. It's
Benjamin
happening too
Mendy.
much.
Mhm.
Aye, it's happening too much. It's no. This isn't just about football. The thing,
Do you know-
it's
you're
happening
right,
too
you're
much.
right.
Do
You know
what
what
I mean?
this is a power trip for these guys.
Aye,
Privileged
It
young
is.
men thinking they've got the
Aye.
privilege.
Exactly, they've got nobody to answer to. See,
Yeah.
we got it right. Mason Greenwood, what age is he? 20? 21?
must be very
Right.
young, man. Aye.
Now he's going to be pulling in money that make him feel untouchable, that makes him feel untouchable.
Mhm.
Now maybe you need to take a wee step back again and go, right, until you are of this age, the upper limit on what you can earn as a footballer is this. Right,
Yeah.
see back in the day, they were brought up, it doesn't happen anymore, they were brought through
YTS
Paul,
scheme.
Paul McStay, cleaned boots, fucking washed jerseys,
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
you know, put out the bibs and all of that. You don't get that anymore. And it's like you're saying there, John, it's a privileged position that they're in. And
They think that it's an entitlement with these
yeah,
cunts.
exactly.
It is.
You can't say no to me.
Aye, because you heard the voice note of Mason Greenwood. That was fucking disgusting, man.
Aye,
Disgusting.
you know,
And you've got these wee guys coming in, right? These wee guys, you see their Twitter profiles, their Instagram profiles, they're football players, they're Nike athletes, they're Adidas athletes, they're fucking getting royalties for FIFA, for adverts, for this, that. Money's getting thrown at them left, right, and centre, and they just basically feel they've got an entitlement to do what they want, and it's wrong, man. These cunts should be strung up, honestly.
100%.
Yeah.
So anyway, what's about you all having for dinner?
Uplifting episode of Football Daft this
I
week,
know,
man.
well, that's the matter said. For Goodwillie now, where does he go from here? That's a 2.5-year deal that he's going to get paid up. Now, presumably, he's going to have the Wraith Rovers have to pay up that money. They've spent
Do
money.
you know where Goodwillie should go for here?
I was thinking about this, right? Is there not a 2-week cooling off period, like when you take out a loan,
I don't
when
think
you sign
there
a
is.
footballer or anything like that? Because
I don't know what the contract wrangling is, Chris, but I mean, Quaid can't. I mean, what football? He's going to have to sit there. He's got 2.5 years on his contract. Wraith Rovers have paid Quaid money for him, and then they've got to pay out this. I mean, they're down probably well over 100 grand, maybe more than that. When they get it, you know.
well,
And
when you take into account the sponsorships all being pulled, it's probably more than that, John.
yeah, and
Fuck them.
Can Quaid take him back? I mean, because he's been playing lower league football. I mean, this is not a new thing. He's been playing for Quaid for 4 seasons.
I know.
You know, scoring. I think he scored 81 goals in 121 appearances for Quaid. He's got a great scoring record, and he's been playing there and doing it under the radar. But since obviously the size of the club and the fact that Wraith Rovers is a bigger club,
And because of who's in charge of the Rovers and what they've got behind them, like they've got a feminist there. I mean, they've made an asset. They've made an absolute asset.
yeah, no, absolutely. So you just wonder, where does his football career? Because can Quaid take him back? I don't think they can they?
No, because of how magnified this has been. If Clyde then go, right, we'll take you back, they're going to fucking cop it as well now.
But the thing is, see if his contract's cancelled in between transfer windows, he can't make a move.
Yeah.
He can't play for another team.
It's an awful situation. But yeah, let's just move on and get to the daft, shall we? Right, let's. I was actually going to talk about Lee Griffiths there, but he's now. And Falkirk are looking at Lee Griffiths, so there we go.
Are they?
Yes, apparently so. This is.
What's your thoughts on that, John?
Now, John, I said to you at the time, would you take Lee Griffiths? And you said no.
I did say no, and I'm sticking by it. But my sources say, I mean, Falkirk, it's been banned. Listen, Falkirk were apparently looking at Goodwill. This could have easily been Falkirk, by the way, the Wraith Rover situations. We apparently, from what I hear, had 2 bids turned down for him. And that was off the back of the supporters getting asked to vote. Would you take Lee Griffiths? Yes or no? 70% said absolutely no, and it split the Falkirk supporters. So that could
it was Goodwillie, not Lee Griffiths.
No, this is good. This was good, Willie. This is
sorry,
good, Willie.
you said Lee Griffiths.
Sorry, so good, Willie. And now we're apparently using that money which we'd put aside for Good Willie, and look like we might sign Lee Griffiths. So we will wait and see what happens with that. Let's move on to the.
Let's get away from the muddy waters.
Out of the fire pan into the fryer.
Right, exactly.
I fucked that up. A fire
You
pan.
fucked that. I know what you mean. We know what you mean.
On transfer deadline day, right, I put this out on Twitter. We said, what one of your mates, do you know that mate you've all got that's a complete liability when they've got a drink in them? What one of your mates would you transfer out of the group? Like, so...
no comment, man.
Transfer deadline day. Jordan got in touch saying, my mate accidentally slid tackled a dwarf on my stag do Newcastle 4 years ago.
Wait a minute, I get slid tackled down in Newcastle 4 years ago.
The boy pressed charges. My mate had to travel back down and write a letter of apology and pay an £80 fine. He's not named.
Was that Jordan Thompson?
It is Jordan Thompson.
Friend of the show.
James McCafferty tagged his mate Jamie Kyle saying, do you fancy going on air and telling them about your broken cock story? Jamie wasn't up for this, however.
Broken cock story.
He was more upset that James wanted him transferred out of the group. So you're saying no comment. Have you got that one, mate? It's a complete liability.
Well, by the way, I'm the one, mate. I'm going to be
honest. Are you that guy, Chris?
However, I've got a mate called Frank, right, and he's got a nickname, Pyro.
Right.
Pyro?
Aye. Right, now, he's one of these sort of guys, when he had his own flat, we'd all be sitting there, turn away, turn back, and the fucking table would be on fire or something like that. Do you know what I mean? An absolute right off. He used to have a set of samurai swords. Right? And when he would get to a certain level of inebriation, all bets were off with these fucking samurai swords, right? He stabbed a samurai sword through his landline phone one night.
Wow.
Right all the way through. And honest to God, he was just an absolute write-off. But I've got that money. We've got that. Everybody's group of mates is that eclectic group, and then wants to get drunk.
Mine's is, he'll probably be listening to this. He's been texting me non-stop. My good friend Paul, big Celtic fan. He's the one. You invite him round, but you invite him round with caution, especially like the new, just moved into a new house. Everything's quite nice and new. He'll fuck that up in 5 minutes. When he's pissed, you know what I mean? He's the type of guy, he spills a drink and it's like fucking slow motion. He sits and he looks at it, and it's all fucking get out of the flare, out of the couch. I'll fix it, I'll get it. And you're like, mate, you should have fixed it 10 seconds ago. Do you know what I mean? He's a nightmare. And he's one of the boys where you're going, right, he'll be the last one there.
Aye.
And see if you go, mate, do you want to stay for another couple? He'll bite your horn off, but you're like, look, you need to be quiet, Bucks, and misses away to bed. And he'll just be the loudest cunt ever, honestly. And Paul, if you're listening, I mean every fucking word of this. Get it up, you.
My mate Gordon, he was that guy, God rest his soul, he passed away a few years back. But oh my God, seeing a night out, like, so I can give a few examples of like, we're in Edinburgh, Bar Co, lovely nice vodka bar, pretty pissed. This is one of the first times I met this guy. I'm standing, all right, mate, chatting away to him. There he is. It's cock out pissing against the bar.
Against the bar?
He didn't bother going to the toilet.
Heck, man.
No, that's like what's his name for Chopper.
It's like fucking James Forrest. Allegedly.
Then continuing on that night, we went to, I don't remember if you remember Revolution on Lothian Road. Aye. So we're in there. And we're standing at the bar again, just drinking. He's absolutely out of it, right? On the bar, right?
A shite at the bar?
No, on the bar this time. On the bar this time, right? He's got out a Sherbert dib dab and says, "Watch this." Proceeds to put the Sherbert dib dab on the bar and puts it away. Gets a credit card out. Starts chopping it up. Chopping up a Sherbert dib dab. Goes down, pretends he's doing a line with this Sherbert dib dab. The bouncer is literally about 5 yards away going, "What the fuck is this boy doing?" What's with this dib dab? The bouncer runs over, grabs him, he yells at Sherbert, dab dab at his ball, goes, Sherbert, dab dab me!
Fuck's sake.
Gets hooked out the club anyway.
Aye.
But what a boy is. But the thing,
Oh my God.
the nicest soul in the entire
Oh,
planet.
mate.
Aye, that's what Paul, my mate Paul, it's just when he's pissed, sometimes you're like, mate, what are you doing? But he's the nicest boy in the world.
Oh, amazing, amazing. So thanks for getting in touch with those stories. Now,
Sherbert, dab mate!
By the way, football daft night out. Let's see how many
Aye,
places we
right,
can
we'll
get
see
chucked
how
out.
that-
That's the name of this week's episode, Sherbert dab.
Right, now for more daft. Would you like to hear about this week, gentlemen? A woman sent a text message to her one-night stand instead of her pal. Would you like to hear about the mountain of chewing gum, or would you like to play a game of swear word bingo?
Swear word bingo.
Swear word bingo.
Oh.
Right, here we go.
I wanted to know what the bird sent, man.
I was. Why don't you tell us what the bird said? Then we'll get a wee game of bingo.
I'll do this for a wee game of bingo, right? So this woman had a one-night stand with this guy, right? And it's, you know, we've all had these text message fails, you know. She sent a text message saying, "That's me just leaving his now. I've left my bra so that he has to text me again. Haha, I think I'm in love. How was your night?" She sent this to the guy. She's just had the one-night stand with, right? This guy, right, is then went, yeah, my night was really good. I spent it with you. Then she's messaged back, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Ignore, I'm so embarrassed. The boy has then proceeded to send back a photo of him wearing a bra on his heat.
And they're not been married for 15 years.
I'm calling bullshit on this. I think she's done that deliberately.
Yeah, well, there you go. But my question is, and this is a question, we were talked about this on the radio today, right? Everyone, right? Every man, now I don't think I'm on my own here, has taken their wife or their partner's bra and put it on their head and either pretend they're a World War II pilot, put it around their eyes, pretend they're a bumblebee or a fly, or put it over their ears and pretend they're Princess Leia. Am I right?
The last one, Princess Leia.
Do you remember?
So you've all done this, aye?
Yeah, oh, of course, mate. Do you remember the ice water challenge thing?
Yes.
Aye.
I done the ice water challenge wearing Sammy's bra at the back. So I did.
I want to see video evidence of this, mate.
I'll send you it if I can find
That'd be funny, man.
Get that. I tell you what, we'll get that on Patreon if we can get that up there. Right now, swear word bingo. Right now, revealed this week. Now you've heard Ofcom are the company that regulate radio, television. Thank fuck they don't regulate podcasts, right?
For fuck's sake.
Oft.
Thank goodness for that.
You know, I get one complaint to Ofcom when we done Insane Fight Club. Right now, remember I get the spray tan and I came out and I said I look like Trevor McDonald.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now that wasn't what got the complaint. It was me being in the buggy in the middle of Newcastle town centre.
Really?
Aye, that's what got the complaint. And I can't believe...
You're going to get complaints now, but because you've just said the Trevor McDonald thing.
Aye, well, this is a podcast. It's a podcast, so get it up, easy.
Yeah, and you can still see that episode of Insane Fight Club on the BBC. Right, so basically...
Great wee plug, yeah.
Ofcom have come out, right, and they basically divided up the swear words into wild, medium, strong, and the strongest, right? So I want a game of swear word bingo, right? So according to Ofcom, you can say the following on TV or radio when children are present, and these are the mild ones. So I'll give you the mild, right? Arse, body, bugger, cow, crap, damn, ginger, get, God, goddamn, Jesus Christ.
Wait, hold on a minute. Ginger's a swear word.
What?
Ginger's a swear word.
Apparently, according to Ofcom, ginger's a swear word.
What if I say I'm going to buy a bottle of ginger?
That's fine. I think if you called someone
It's
ginger,
the context, isn't it?
It's
It's
the
the context. Aye.
so that
Whereas cow.
So that's the mild swear words, right? I want to play a game of swear word bingo now. I've got the list of swear words, medium, strong, and strongest, right? You get 3 points for the strongest, you get 2 points for medium, and you get a point for a mild one, right? First to 10 wins, and you can go back and forth, all right?
Hunt.
3 points.
Stephen Purden, straight off.
I'd have won this game last night watching Old Firm.
Right.
Fuck. 3 points. It is the strongest. There's only one more in the strongest category that can get you 3 points. So that's 3-3. Stephen.
Bastard.
2 points. It's strong,
Aye.
but it's not the strongest.
Aye.
That's 5 points to Stephen. Chris Toll.
Twat.
Twat is a strong swear word. That'll get you 2 points. 5-5.
Slut.
Slut. I'm looking down. Oh, slut is a strong swear word. So that is getting you 2 points there, Stephen.
What is a strong one?
Yes.
Whore.
Whore is not on my list, Chris.
Slut's on it and whore isn't.
Right.
So that's 7-5. I could win it now if I get this last one.
If you get the strongest one, you could win this.
Hold on. Motherfucker.
Oh, nice. Nice, mate. That's it. That's
Yes, you've done it. Ding, ding, ding. You're the strongest. You've completed the set. Full house. Here we go.
If Samuel L. Jackson has taught us anything.
Thank God Ofcom don't regulate this podcast.
I know.
Well done. It's a win. It's a win for Rangers, Stephen. There you go.
There we go, man.
I can't wait to get to the fucking riddles.
And talking of riddles, we'll have those later on in the show. I've got 3 riddles for you in Grado's absinthe. And we've got an esports coach coming on. We did this interview last week when Grado was here. Brilliant chat with a FIFA coach. It's called Foot Coaching. We speak to Big John van Uden. He's a Dutch football FIFA coach.
Is that Denise Van Uden's man?
It's not Denise Van Uden's man. It's John Van Uden. He'll be on to tell you how to play FIFA better. And on teammates this week, the Scottish Pirlo himself, Mr. Gary Harkins. Now it's time for our new feature, Football Daft Focus. Every week we're going to focus on an element of the game. We'll look at a big story, talk to supporters of the club across Scotland, podcasters. And this week we're going to focus on FIFA, right? Now at Christmas everyone's got FIFA and Stephen and Chris are massive fans of it. But we're going to get an expert on, a guy who coaches esport teams, a guy who coaches personal thing. He's got a own business called Foot Coaching, FUT Coaching. He does a podcast all the way from Holland. It is John Van Uden. How you doing, John?
Hello, thank you for having me on.
John?
Great to have you.
Welcome to the show, mate. Now,
John.
how many goals do you think I would beat you by?
Depends how much you're paying.
John, before we start, John, are you a fan of Giovanni Van Bronckhorst?
Of course. I'm from
Yes, there
Rotterdam
we go,
originally, so
What about Bear Van Hooydonk?
most definitely also Feyenoord, right? So
So the first question I've got to come to you on, John, how do you become a full-time coach for FIFA?
you quit your job and you try. No. I just played a lot of FIFA back in the days, right? While having another full-time job. So what happened is I got asked to help some pro players, which I knew from FIFA, and they quite liked it, so they started paying for that. Then I thought, oh, maybe there's a business here. So basically, what I did is I took the tools from the on-the-pitch football, like data analysis tool, video analysis tool, and I said, why couldn't we use this for proper esports and use the same techniques for on the pitch? Then get some video analysis on board, get some sports psychologists on board, and guide these guys as it was real life football. And we tried, and thus far it's working pretty well.
Yeah, can I ask you this? Hoeveel geld heb je?
Enough to pay my mortgage.
I knew it was all good amount of time before somebody says, much do you make?
Yeah.
Do you know what else is good enough to pay your mortgage? 8 episodes of River City.
John, do you coach all elements like pro clubs, ultimate team, everything?
Yes, although the demand for Ultimate Team farly outweighs the rest. I think 96% is Ultimate Team these days.
So, do you take on beginners?
Sure. So we'll do individual trainings like anyone that's just started FIFA or actually doesn't matter. We'll do single sessions. We'll do for non-pros, we'll do also do run programs. So some people are at foot coaching and they're treating us as if they were learning to play guitar, for example. Session every week or a talk every week. And with the organization, it's a bit different. That's scheduled on the demands and the level and what they need.
I know the other question that everybody wants to ask. How much do you charge somebody for a FIFA consultation?
Oh, it's all on the website, but the individuals just go start at 28 euros. So.
And how long is that? Is that for an hour?
No, so we tend to do it a little bit different because we're based on we're a data-driven organization. So what you usually do is we'll ask you to send us a match, a link or YouTube link or whatever. We run that through the software, and one of our coaches runs you through that match with the analysis and delivers you a video, which you then can play in your own time, and you can have that video for yourself.
Oh wow!
I tell you what, Dick Campbell might be on FIFA yet.
This is bro. I want to get involved in this.
I'll be honest with you. I don't see how this benefits somebody.
It's such a heel.
And I know what you're saying, right? But I think this is taking money off people that you shouldn't be taking money off.
Oh, Topher.
No.
What benefit is there to paying somebody to try to play
FIFA? The world we live in now, right? There is, right, Twitch, for example, right? You see on Sky Sports, they broadcast actual FIFA tournaments where you can win money.
Right.
Right?
Do you get a coach for bingo?
But whether you like it or not, right? Waynes now are growing up saying they want to be YouTubers. They want to be Twitch. It's a business. It's a career. Some of these guys are earning millions.
Aye.
And it's mental health as well, by the way.
I understand what you're saying, right? But it's easy to separate and
fuck
money.
off.
That's all I'm going to say.
John, tell him to get to. He's John McInally, cut him off.
So what is it? What's the script here? Do we need to agree all the time?
No, I love a debate. I love it.
Aye. But mate, you can't insult guests that come on from Holland.
I'm not. All I'm saying is, I think it wouldn't be something that I would pay for. Right, there we go.
That was a better way to put
I'm the best FIFA player in the world.
Right.
No,
it's because I'm the best.
I played Chris at FIFA last week and beat him 3-1. He's shite. He's pissed.
Yeah, so I'll answer that question because I get asked that a lot, right? So I appreciate you saying the answer actually, or asking the question. But people are teaching guitar lessons and they don't want to play in a band on the stage, right? And in FIFA, especially in Ultimate Team, there's a thing called FIFA points where you spend money to get the best teams and try to get that. And many players think as long as you have good players, you're up there and it's there. So for the cost of just like a regular pack, 20 euros, 28 euros, you get a training session. 1 hour training session from us will make you a better player than like 1,000 euros you spent on getting better players. So you're just asking me how much would you beat me, right? Or the other way around. That kind of depends, but I'm pretty sure I wouldn't need the players you'll be using to have a fairer chance.
Right. That's fair enough, I understand. So is there when you're saying that you do the Ultimate Team thing, do you have like a specific set of players that you would set to a formation? Or would you ask the player what formation they play and then build a team around that?
No, actually nothing like that. So we build all our coaching on 3 pillars. Mechanics, so which buttons do you use when, what are the base things of the game. All we do in those mechanics are teaching you things which you can take into other games as well from FIFA. So somebody which we've coached 4 years ago can still use those mechanics today. I think that's definitely more value than those FIFA points, right? The other things we do teach is tactics, but hey, you can find it on YouTube and we can definitely talk about that, but that's not something I would like, and you would pay me for consulting that. And the third one, and that I think we differ from many others doing this, is our mentality side of things. So especially when you look at pro players, how do they prepare for matches? How do they reach performance? I agree. It's like Guido just say, right? Grader just said, he's a pro wrestler. Well, if you're a pro wrestler, if you're a pro player, you need to prepare certain. There's pressure on you. There are people playing FIFA and there are 100,000 people watching. Well, that's a little bit different than playing FIFA on your couch, right? And there's a lot of pressure from sponsors, for people paying the salaries, for paying the prize money, your face on the screens, which we also guide players with. And of course, if you're not a pro player, a single session can be enough to at least get you through the Friday night tournaments at your local football club.
So tell me this as well, right? This is something that came into my mind there a moment ago. Say Electronic Arts completely changed the engine of FIFA, completely changed the build of the game. Would that then put you in a terrible position, or is this sort of system that you've got, is it update proof?
It's definitely update proof. It will definitely require some adaptability from our side. The good thing is we usually are able to play an early build of the game every year and get the game a little bit earlier, so we're prepared for the new ones. This specific situation is not going to happen anytime soon, though, because EA uses their own engine, which they won't replace anytime soon, which makes the incremental steps to the next version not that large usually. I think this year has been the largest step we've had for years because of the new generation of consoles, but still many of the mechanics still hold, and it takes us a couple of weeks for playing and early builds playing to actually know most of the mechanic sides of the game still.
Is there any FIFA players you know that are shit hot at FIFA? Like, is there anybody like that in amongst the community knows? Because I would imagine quite a lot of players they play FIFA, but is there really good players that might not be the best FIFA players on the pitch, but are tremendous at FIFA?
That's a good question. Though. I know of guys in the Netherlands, but those are I could say Peter van Vossen, right? Because we're on the last podcast.
Van Vossen is better on FIFA than in real life.
Probably.
I might be hard.
See, remember when he pressed square to shoot?
No, man, he used his alternate, but he was on classic that night. But
tell me this one, right? Sorry, I understand that obviously you're on to talk about FIFA, but FIFA's never really been challenged in the last 10 years or so. But there seems to be a bit of a buzz coming around this new football game that's coming out. Would you, if that seems to be that it's going to be more of a like ultimate team based game that's coming out, do you think that that's something that you might dip your toes into as well? Or what do you think about this new game that's coming out? I think it's called UCL or something like that, or EUF or something. I don't know, but
UFL, yes.
Yeah, UFL, that's the one.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
No, so I think it's definitely good to have some competition going right in the scene. We don't only coach FIFA, although our company Foot Coaching is predominantly FIFA, of course. So we do League of Legends, for example, as well. That means then if there's a new game, we will definitely look into it, hire new coaches to see if that's viable. Concerning the game itself, I can hardly imagine, if I'm quite honest, being a bit of a tech nerd myself, that if you have a team at EA Sports, which consists out of hundreds of people, that would be easily challenged by a team that's now still building his team and actually doesn't even have 40 people on. So I'm glad there's competition, although I'm not expecting, I'm hoping, because competition is always for the best for everyone, but I'm not expecting big things.
John, all I'll tell you is Microsoft started with 2 people. So you never know, my man. You never know.
John, I don't play a lot of FIFA. Just for someone coming new into the game, what are the best tactics to set up as, and what is the best tip you can give me as a novice to score a goal in FIFA?
Great tips. I think the best tip I can give you, generally speaking, is stop blaming everyone else except yourself. Start with looking at your own play first, right? But in generally speaking, I think the worst, call it a mistake, people do in FIFA, and people tend to do that, has to do with sprinting, with holding the sprint button, which is the R2 or the RT button on the Xbox. If you hold the sprint button in FIFA, everything else you do while holding that is at least 20% less accurate. That goes from making a tackle, stepping in, giving a pass, but also taking a shot. So you can actually see it yourself. You can put your control input on. You can see on top of the screen which button you're pushing when. Usually, when I see people who start off with FIFA, they hold the sprint button in all the time, which is by far the easiest thing you can fix for yourself. And I see it in 90% of the first classes I get. Like, okay, I would stop doing that first.
That's your fuck now, Stevie. Because that's what I do. See, I'm stopping that now. I'm going to tan your arse the next time we play.
Plus, if you do that all the time, your players just end up shattered so quick.
The subs work in FIFA, aye?
Subs?
What do you mean?
So you're right. So you've answered the question, then, Bob. They get tired.
Aye, they get tired, mate. Aye, you get the players get tired.
Just like the Sims and all that, isn't it? Like having a cyber pet.
See, at the bottom of the screen, Grado, you've got like a wee energy bar, and see when you press the run button, it just goes down quite dramatically. So that's good to know, actually.
What about scoring a goal? Because the old FIFA, you used to be a certain place on the old Sega Mega Drive that you could just hit it and you'd score every time.
Joey de la Sevilla.
Or you could always go to the byline, cross it back, and just tap it into the net. Is there a dead cert way of scoring a goal, John?
This year, not actually anymore. There was at the start of the game, but they changed it during the course of this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so there's not one way to be score on everything. One thing we are very focused on doing in our trainings, though, is teach people the difference between high and low percentage shots. Something that is very good this FIFA is playing the counter-attack, like giving space, running behind, and go for it. And that's easy to do if you lose the ball, right? If you lose the ball, you get countered. And something I see many people do is that they just take shots from everywhere where they can, which they get blocked, give the ball to the opposition, they go for a counter-attack. And if you look back at that and there's someone standing between you and the goalkeeper, just don't take that shot. I think that's the biggest advice you could give. Make sure you get a clean shot in. That way you only take those high percentage shots. You concede far less counters and you're far more likely to score if you stop holding that sprint button as well. So
see, like me and my friends during lockdown, like lots and lots of other people, we started a pro clubs team. So our tactic every time we went to play somebody was just instantly put the defence tactics on. Just put defend. What do you think of that?
In pro clubs, it's a little bit different because if you have good communication, you can actually pull these things off more easily, right? It can also go bad, horribly, if you don't communicate. Which I think, if I'm quite honest, I think pro clubs should be the future of esports in FIFA. I think that's definitely something. And we've been coaching that at some college, actually, in England. And I think...
Yeah, man, you can go to college for FIFA.
Yeah, sure. So Newcastle College, with Newcastle Foundation, they've been putting on esports classes, which we'll be helping out with as well. And Bristol City, for example, in Bristol, they're also doing it. They're also doing it now in college.
That's mind blowing for me.
There's big money in esports. That's what we're saying, Chris. There's big money in esports and setting up teams.
Oh, it's not that. When I was at college, they didn't even have an Xbox in the common room.
But you know, see how even at colleges now you can take like Batman courses and all that now.
No, Grado, that's training to be a policeman.
Well, John, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Can you just let people know if they want to get in touch with you, want to get better at FIFA, you are the man to speak to, and how do they get in touch with you?
Fairly easy. Thank you for having me, by the way. But go to footcoaching.com. All the info is there. You can just send an email contact from there. Foot coaching on all social medias. We're even on TikTok these days, so we've entered the 2020s. So, and of course, listen to the podcast, right? And
John, what age do you think he is before you answer that? You either look 18 or
21.
23.
I'm 36.
Fucking hell!
See, this is a man who's living in the modern world. He's just gave everything up. He's coaching FIFA, and that's what you look like. Look at us, you know what I mean?
I'd look like that if I had my feet up all fucking day playing computers.
That's my point. He's living the dream. He's living the dream. We're the losers here.
That's amazing.
Exactly. Listen, if you want to get that, it's futcoaching.com. Check out John. He'll make you a better FIFA player. And thanks once again for coming on Football Daft, John.
Well done,
Thank you, John.
Thanks very much, mate.
Brilliant.
Bye now.
Football Daft's big question.
I think we talked about it on Celtic Daft versus Rangers Daft. You can hear that on the channel right now. We're all left in shock, and Stephen specifically, when rumours on deadline day emerged that Aaron Ramsey was turning up at Rangers. Big Ramin Barwash was down at the airport with his mobile phone.
Looking fucking... Couldn't he clap a dog sideways?
I
love that part.
It was doing the rounds on the group chat. It was like, is this happening? It's not happening. Then it was unveiled in the steps of Ibrox that night. Aaron Ramsey comes out with a Rangers scarf. He is signed for Rangers, leaving us all in complete shock. And obviously, a lot of Rangers supporters very, very excited. So the big question this week is, what was that one signing your club went for that left you really, really excited? Chris?
The one that immediately springs to mind for me is Robbie Keane for some reason. I don't know why, but I remember being told that we were signing Nakamura, and as you know, me and Stephen are right into our Italian football. So at the time, I was like, "Fucking hell, we've been linked to Nakamura. That'll never happen."
Yeah.
And then when we actually signed him, man, that was a good one. But the one that immediately sprang to mind was Robbie Keane.
That was a deadline day, wasn't it? That was deadline day as well.
I was working in Motherwell at the time, and one of the boys I was working with, it was deadline day, like you say, John. And I turned around to him and I went like that, jokingly. I says, "Oh, fuck's sake, I've signed Robbie Keane." He was a big Rangers fan. And he's like, "No fucking way." I was like, "Nah, I'm only joking." And he ran me home that night. And see, just as I was getting out of the car, one of my mates texts me and says, "We're signing Robbie Keane." And I went, "Look at that," and showed him it. He's like, "Ha ha ha." And the next day, I went into work and he's like, "Oh, for fuck's sake." But that was huge because Bellamy as well. Bellamy was a big one.
Aye.
But neither of them were permanent transfers, so I'll go with Nakamura.
They were like household names, but like Craig Bellamy and Robbie Keane, they were players that you've seen every week. You watched on Match of the Day on fucking Sky Sports. They were like, that was like box office signings, they two.
Aye, they were.
What about you, Stephen?
Gaza.
Yeah, of course. Fuck
Gaza. It was the hysteria. It's a toss-up, maybe. I think Gaza and Laudrup. Laudrup was, I mean, fucking two of them world-class signings. But I think just the mass hysteria of signing Paul Gascoigne, touching on what Toll said, like massive Italian football fans. Me and Toll, he was playing in Lazio at the time, and obviously he'd had that bad injury, and it's iconic figures of football coming to your club. You can't really argue with the status the guy came with, the fucking profile, and just the sheer fucking
And do you know what else? Do you know what else, Stevie? It showed you the pool that Rangers had at that time, because there was not one team in England that if you went, "Do you want Paul Gascoigne for £4 million?" Every single one of them would have chewed your hand off for it.
My dad always used to go on about the kind of the Souness era and talking about bringing up guys like Gary Stevens, Terry Butcher, Chris Woods, going, it's the equivalent of fucking signing the England players of today. Do you know what I mean? He used to always go on about that. But my first time being totally fucking buzzing out my skull, it was Gaza.
For me, for Falkirk, I think it had to be Chris Waddle arriving at Falkirk and playing Brockville. You know, England international.
How many games did he play?
He only played 4 games. In fairness, he only played 4 games.
Scored in his debut, but
he scored in his debut. I was there. I saw all 4 of Chris Waddle's games for Falkirk.
That's kind of like Georgie Best going to Hibs, isn't it?
It was that equivalent, but
wait a minute. Come on now. A World Player of the Year.
I know. Yeah, Waddle was a player though, man. Yeah, Waddle was a fucking player.
That was incredible.
Well, went to shit for him after Italia 90 a bit, didn't it?
Yeah.
I did, but no, Chris Waddle just playing the Falkirk top. I'll never forget it. So we asked you to answer that question. Barry says, Hans Heelhouse at Aberdeen. He scored 2 goals in his debut against Dunfermline, including an overhead kick, which I think we've talked about on this show before.
Actually, was it not a hat trick he got in his debut?
Barry's saying it. I'm assuming he's an Aberdeen.
Oh, you took the words out of my mouth. I was going to say I thought it was a hat trick as well.
No, I watched it recently. I'm pretty sure. Let's check.
Get on that. He was Barry was a young kid at the time, and remember everyone trying to emulate that overhead kick in the park the following day. He was some player.
Ian has got in touch, says, well, I'm also a Spurs fan, and when Rangers signed Jermaine Defoe, it was one that filled me with immense pride to see a former Spurs player I loved, who's such a genuine human being, pull on the blue jersey. See, I mean, me and my mates were talking about this, right? Good enough, subject to me, but I mean, I think it's a bit of a mistake letting him go when you've seen fucking, we've been stuck with it in a couple of games, right? But see, Jermaine Defoe, he is a genuine superstar of the game as well. Like, see, when you see him talking and stuff, and he is, but what Ian says, just a genuine nice guy. Do you know what I mean?
It's good to see him going back to Sunderland as well.
Aye, definitely.
There's a wee bit of poetry about that, you know what I mean? It's nice. And I've just had some word in from Sky Sports News, and Hans Hillhouse did indeed score a brace.
Oh, I thought it was a hat-trick as well, man.
I don't know why I thought it was a hat-trick. Right, so P. McBee says, Ronald de Boer, can't remember thinking a truly world-class player was joining Rangers and just thinking, wow.
Yeah. I was saying this on Rangers and Celtic Daft the other night. I think Aaron Ramsey's been, for me, the biggest signing since Ronald de Boer. I think it's in that kind of mould where Ronald de Boer was he just oozed class.
Frank obviously came after.
Frank came in later. He kind of filled a wee void at the back, man. So
he was fucking incredible when he played for Rangers.
Player, but I think we get more out of Ronald. Ronald was just absolutely phenomenal, and he was always a bit of a thorn in your mob side as well. Toll scored quite a few crucial goals against you, man.
Remember the song we had for them?
What was that again? Go. Give us a rendition.
One's called Ronald, one's called Frank. One missed his penalty, the other one's a wank.
Do you remember when Frank missed the penalty and Ronald missed the penalty and Frank gave him it stinking, remember?
Aye, that's where the song came from.
Brilliant, man. Brilliant.
John says...
Sorry, John.
John says it has to be Moussa Dembele, the talent the guy had, the goals he scored, i.e. sending us to the shops, a player that got Celtic, and what it meant to be to the fans. I saw him noising up people on Twitter last night as well.
I sent Stevie the goal he scored at the weekend there.
By the way, what a goal that was.
A beauty, man. He's an absolute... He's everything you want in a centre forward.
I don't know why he's still at Lyon, to be honest.
Mate, he's absolutely...
Do you know,
he's some player.
He's what Arsenal is screaming out for.
But he went to Madrid. He went to Atletico Madrid and didn't do very well there,
because did he not have some sort of fucking heart issue or something like that? Did he not collapsed at training or something, didn't he?
Really? Niall has got in touch, says, when Robert Pritz signed for West Kilbride Amateurs, played for my team Rangers and 56 caps for Sweden in his mid-40s at the time, and spraying the ball about the park, down the Glen on a Saturday afternoon like a legend. That's a belter. That's a belter.
Robert Pritz said possibly one of the best haircuts Scottish football's ever seen.
Oh, aye.
Oh, that's next big question. Who's got the best haircut Scottish football?
It's between Robert Pritz and Terry Hullock.
I don't know. Brian Laudrup and Charlie Mulgrew.
Right, we'll get that's the next big question. The best haircut Scottish football.
Right, so Stephen says, Joey Barton, what a catastrophic failure that turned out to be. Absolute dog shite full of sweet corn.
I tell you what, see when Joey Barton, I lived down in Newcastle and I went to pretty much most of the season they won the championship. It was Joey Barton playing in midfield.
Burnley?
No, it's when he was at Newcastle.
Oh, Newcastle.
What a player Joey Barton was, by the way.
Aye, and the year before we signed him, he was in the fucking championship team of the year. He fucking got Burnley promotion, remember? He was phenomenal.
That's right, yeah.
I remember me and Jordan Young, we were at the Great Scott Awards at Cambridge Street, the Hilton, and Andy Halliday and Scott Brown were there. And we were talking, and Andy Halliday gave us a heads up and went, we're signing Joey Barton, by the way. And I was like, get the fuck. And I text all my mates and all that, not a chance. See the buzz we had, we're getting Joey Barton. And the guy, I wouldn't even put the sweet corn in there. I would just say he was dog shite. I wouldn't, he was terrible.
A mad skittery dog shite when your dog's not well.
Yeah. One where you've got the bag in your horn, you're trying to pick up and you're going, what's the point? It's just for soft.
I know, it's just war. I'm trying to pick up war here.
Aye. Who's shot? Is it John? Is it you?
It's Chris.
Is it me? Right. Callum says Neil Lennon, back when there wasn't a transfer window, we were after him for months. Martin O'Neill finally got his man, and so had the fans. What a player he was.
Yeah, he was a good player.
He was alright. He was all right. I mean, Neil says Freddie Lundberg, but the man was powder puff.
It's not often a Scottish team signs an Armani fucking model, is it?
No, it's not.
There's another good haircut for you. John says Joey
Barton. Next week's big question on this week's big question.
John says Joey Barton. What a waste of time that was.
Right, Andrew, remember getting excited when Flo came to Rangers that Ronald de Boer come and gave me a full-blown pinger?
Brilliant.
Full-blown pinger. The last one's a belter.
It's our favourite, it's our DC, playing Champman 0102, signed the legend Mark Kerr for $1 million from Falkirk. It filled me with immense pride. I wore a suit the day I quit finalised deal. Mark went on to have a stellar career with my Rangers team. He retired and got a wee dog called Totten. The rest is history. Thanks as ever, DC.
I would have believed that if it hadn't have been Rangers. Marky would never have signed it.
I don't. It would have had to have been some fucking fee, wouldn't it? For Rangers.
No, he'd have needed to be on Arm Ramsey money.
And that was this week's big question.
It's a player profile playoff with piesports.com. They are delivering pies to your doorstep ahead of the matches. You can get scotch, you can get steak and gravy, you get macaroni, you can get their fantastic steak and sausage one, which I highly
fucking kebab pies, get them bought.
The kebab pies
with chili sauce and doner meat.
Oh, it's so good, man. It shouldn't be, but it is so good.
It is so good. And listen, you can get them by going to piesports.com or giving them a call 0141 739 9999. They'll deliver to postcodes across Scotland free of charge, and they'll get them in for the games at the weekend. Playing for the Pies today, we have Craig, who's a Rangers supporter. How you doing, Craig?
How you doing, Craig, my boy? You alright, son?
Yeah. First time in 2 years. I'll let you have it.
Okay.
Craig, what do you make of the match last night, mate?
Terrible, man. Terrible. See if I'm a fat bastard, right? See if Barisic is a left back, I'd do a better job than that fucking do. He is terrible, man. Terrible.
He was just the ultimate shite bag last night, mate, wasn't he?
Oh, I bet Callum McGregor actually called him a shite
bag. You seen it twice?
The Callum McGregor call him a shite bag?
He's got the ball. It's when Celtic were winning 1-0, and he's got the ball and he's going down the left. McGregor comes there and goes, a shite bag! And he checks out, goes back, and he shouts right in his face after again, going, shite bag!
Jesus.
No wonder I'd be feared if the Phantom of the Opera was chasing me about a pitch.
Where did it all go wrong, do you think, Craig?
Tactics. Tactics. You've seen it. You've seen it with Celtic for weeks now. I'm the liar. I'll sit and watch Celtic till they go 2-0 up, and then I'll turn it off. But it's he going forward.
He is Grado.
They're hungry. They're rapid. You know what I mean?
Aye.
We sat off him, and then going forward, there was just nothing there. Kent's no interested.
Mate, that's the thing, right? See, with these tactics, it pure nullifies what we can do. Because see us going forward, if we wanted to be, we'd be rapid as well.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
We just boy from Man U, that Diallo.
Aye. Kent's rapid, so's the wee guy Diallo, but you're nullifying these cunts the way you're setting us forward.
It's really fast. Sakala, I noticed he's fucking rapid, that boy.
Aye. He is rapid, but he just needs to realise you can't run through cunts.
And you also shouldn't really run off the pitch as well.
No.
He's
listen.
You think so, mate? The new Seabold?
Terrible, man. 3 goals at Motherwell, that's all he's done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I thought Sakala was a good player for you, Craig.
No.
That's
coming for you, a Celtic fan, John.
Don't start fucking that shite. Right.
By the way, he put in the group chat last night. Why are Rangers standing off them? I think he's meant for a wee bit of a Rangers bit in him.
Right, listen, we'll move on. Falkirk through and through. Right, Craig, let's try and win you
some. So he's playing this weekend, John?
Queen's Park.
There's a wee hesitation there.
Right. Craig, let's win you some pies and cheer you up. All right, I'm going to flip a coin. So you're playing heads, it's Stephen, tails, it's Toll. And it is tails. You will be playing for Toll. this week, gentlemen, we are talking shocking transfers after the transfer of Aaron Ramsey to Rangers. So it's not necessarily...
Mo Johnson.
It's not necessarily in right. These are worldwide transfers. Okay?
Oh, yeah, beauty.
Enrico Nieto.
Right, sharp now because you might give some of them away. Right, so game works as follows. Craig, you probably know the rules. I'm going to read out the player description. If you know the player, you buzz in with your answer. If you do buzz in and get it wrong, player handles. The play goes over to the other person. That's easy for me to say. First to two wins. Okay, what is your buzzer, Craig?
Barisic, because I'm going to be shite at this.
Chris, what's your buzzer?
Shite bag.
Right. Okay, here come the players then, boys. Get ready on your buzzers. This move was a shock in January 2004 after the Danish midfielder moved from Everton to Real Madrid for a fee of only
Shite bag.
Chris.
Thomas Gravesen.
It is Thomas Gravesen.
Talking about open goal, I know.
I know.
Right, next one up. While the striker had been seriously out of form leading up to the January transfer in 2011, it would seem unlikely that any record transfer fee would have been broken for the Spaniard.
Shite bag. Fernando Torres.
Fucking well done, Chris. That's a clean sweep for you today. 2-0.
2-0. 2-0.
Make it
Atate! Right, listen. I know you've had a hard week, Craig, so you can still have replies, my man.
Oh, that's the last thing I need.
Brilliant. Oh, well, the hands across the divide. I like that, Chris. So well done, Craig.
Cheers,
No one's
All the best, mate.
Aye, take care, guys.
You too. Good to see you again, mate.
We'll still win the league.
Ooh. Fucking right, we will. Fucking
I tell you what. If you win the league, come back on, and I'll say that the better team won the league. All right.
Some man.
There you go.
See you later, bud.
Right, see you later, guys.
And if you want pies, you want to try that doner kebab pie, get on to Pie Sports.
One of them, now.
So this week, Football Daft is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy, as this month we're discussing some of the stigmas around mental health. Now, we've all had a hard time of it over lockdown, and, you know, mental health, before, a lot of people thought therapy and stuff like that is for, like, crazy people, but so many people are having to go to therapy now, because therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you recognise you have emotions, you need help, you need to learn how to control them, not avoid them. So we've all had, I think every single one of us have had mental health issues over lockdown. I think, you know.
Aye, and I think we're all led to believe that it isn't part of being normal. Talking about mental health and stuff. I think a lot of what you're saying there, we've learned over the past 18 months to 2 years that it is good to talk about these things, and it's so important to speak about it and don't suffer in silence with it, because that can be very damaging.
No, exactly. You know, if you don't get a hold of it, I mean, you know, you look at male suicide rates, you know, it's one of the biggest killers in young men, you know, and you can help that by helping your mental health. You know, we go to the gym to work on our bodies, we go to the doctor when we need help, so why not help your mind? You know what I mean?
Of course.
And we've got teamed up with BetterHelp Online Therapy, and we've got an offer for you, because BetterHelp is a customised online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with a therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. There's over 2 million people have tried BetterHelp Online Therapy, so it's highly recommended. So why not give it a try? If you're struggling with your mental health, you just want someone to speak to, this is probably a good inroad to that. And we've got an offer here for Football Daft listeners. You're going to get 10% off the first month using BetterHelp. So if you go to betterhelp.com/daft, that's better, BetterHelp.com/daft, you're going to get 10% off your first month by using that. So if you want to speak to someone, you want to reach out, you want to get a hold on your mental health, try BetterHelp right now.
It's now time for Grado's 3 riddles on Football Daft.
Grado's 3 riddles of the
It was
last
Grado's 3 riddles twice.
I know.
Aye, because remember even last week he only had one.
Aye,
It was the whole Adele thing, man.
We all know what Grado's like. He gets excited about something. He does it for a wee while, thinks it's brilliant, and then he just gives it.
Every single... I remember when he started watching The Sopranos about 2 years ago. He didn't shut up about it, kept phoning me and talking to me about it, and then I think he get past season 2.
Yeah. Typical. Hopefully he'll be back next week. He will be back next week. He's filming 2 Doors Down this week, but he'll be back with riddles next week. But I've got them today. I've got 3 riddles of footballers, someone related to Scottish football. It's up to you guys in the studio and at home to try and guess it. See if you can beat Stephen and Chris on them this week. Before we start this week, congratulations to everyone who got last week's riddle. We asked this question, a riddle. Den's wife's mailman is an integral part of the machine's toilet. Who was it, Chris Toe?
I can't remember.
Den's wife's mailman is an integral part.
Ange Postecoglou, that's right. I got it straight away last week, but I forgot.
So Den's wife, Ange, from EastEnders, mailman, post day, is an integral part of the machine. Cog, Postecog, toilet, Postecoglou. There we go. That's how we got to that one. Right, big news, shock news. You know how Dean's had 4 in a row for the listeners?
Who beat him?
He didn't get in. He must have got too late to the podcast this week. Congratulations, get another point on the board. Ryan Dunbar.
Ryan Dunbar, my buddy.
Ryan Dunbar?
Ryan Dunbar.
Ryan Dunbar? We should call Dunbar.
She said, I smell shite.
So Ryan's on 2 points now. He will go above Ali McDonald, Pat the Pallet Prick, Declan Ramage, Albert's Legend, John Mitchell, Ian Meikle and Jack, who are all on 1. Nicola Purden still on 2. Dean's on 4. Stephen's on 14. I'm on 17 and Chris is on 27. Are you ready for this week's riddle?
Yes, come on.
Here we go. First riddle. Soprano gets fire going. Soprano gets fire going.
Tony Hughes.
No.
What's this?
Tony Cascarino?
No.
Tony Sparks.
Think bigger than Tony.
Pavarotti. Was he a soprano? No, he was a tenor, wasn't he?
He was a tenor.
What did Carmela call Tony?
Oh,
Anthony.
Gets fire.
Anthony
going.
Stokes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck off. That's no, it was Tony Watt that was on before. I thought we'd already had Anthony Stokes. Oh, that's easier, no.
Gets
Fuck.
fire going, Stokes fire. So there we go.
Aye, Anthony Stokes.
Right, okay. Next one. I've clearly been steaming when I've written these.
Must have been last night after you were celebrating, John.
Right.
John, what?
Here we go. Robin Hood's wee pal, baby sheep stings. Robin Hood's wee pal's baby sheep stings.
John Lambie.
Yes! Well done! Well done. Right. Okay.
All I could think was Little John, man. What the fuck? Little John, I'm thinking fucking Little John Sheep.
Right. Here we go. Next one. Duran hit expresses suspicion. What?
Rio Hattati. His name is Rio and he came to play for Orange.
Duran hit expresses suspicion that Scottish potato. Hattati. Stephen, I'm so sorry. It's a whitewash for Chris this week, which puts him on.
By the way, Stevie has wrote him when he's been steaming last night.
I know.
Going with that last time.
Aye. Fucking Rangers get pumped 3-0 and Toll pumps me 3-0 and all, man. Fuck's sake.
There's a portrait in it.
Right, okay. One for the punters next week. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
First one in. See if you can get. If you've skipped to this bit of the podcast, especially to get the riddle, right? Do that so you can get yourself on the leaderboard and see if you can beat Dean and Ryan to it, right? Because we want to get more people on the leaderboard. Here is the riddle for next week. Grass cutting Man City defender. Grass cutting.
I know that.
City defender.
That's easy.
So that is this week's riddle for you guys. Good luck. It is the Football Daft moment of the week, and last week's results are in. And they are as follows. Chris, your nomination. Remember you were telling us about Aloha and how the post just said for you to park in a space in the Kentucky Fried Chicken car park when you weren't allowed to. And they were saying basically the police breaks the law. That was in last place with 10.
Of course it was.
There you go. And third, Stephen's nomination. The Tunisian Rangers Supporters Club. 21%. And
it's got to be the Dutch boy. It's got to be.
I mean, you'd think it would be the Dutch boy, wouldn't you? The boy that's
heartless bastards. If it's no
boy that's battled back from cancer. You know, the Ajax players applaud him. Beautiful moment in football. Absolutely beautiful.
That's no second.
That is second with 30% of the vote.
Our listeners are heartless bastards.
They are.
What do you expect? 99% of them are fucking Rangers supporters.
I fucking walked into that one.
The winner of the moment of the week. Congratulations to Sideshow Bob, who put the listener nomination forward this week. It was the Celtic Cup Shock, which beat someone.
That's a good one.
Battling against cancer. So that had 39%.
So Celtic Hearts puts Johnson at the cup, and the players having to walk through. The Celtic Hearts fans beats the boy coming back for beating cancer.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Our listeners are heartless. What can we say?
Fair enough.
Okay, so this week, the listeners get to nominate first since they won last week. They get to nominate first, and I've chosen for this week's nomination.
You've got a wee snigger, John. You've got a wee snigger here.
Sorry, I'm just like, it's quite funny. The nomination for the listeners this week comes from Ryan, who has nominated Stephen and Grado's Tears. That's the listener nomination for this week. I have to say that they weren't kind, the listener nominations to Rangers this week, so that's the best of a bunch. Other nominations include Fitboz Pish, Barisic sitting on his hole before a Bada scores, Kenton Juranovich's back pocket, the implosion of Barisic was another nomination, the Ball Boys giving it tight to McGregor. They've all been pretty bad towards Rangers, but we'll go with Stephen and Grado's Tears for this week.
I'll take my medicine. Yes. I'm a big boy.
We'll go with that. Chris, we'll come to you next.
Can I just mute everything now because I know what Chris's is going to be?
It's got to be, innit? It's just got to be the fucking absolute demolition job that Celtic done on Rangers last night. There's no two ways about it. I know that it's going to come last. But you know what? Sticking to my guns, standing up for my morals, and I'm saying Celtic 3, Rangers 0 is my moment of the week.
Right. Okay. Celtic result, moment of the week. Stephen, what's yours?
It's got to be the mass hysteria and the absolute out of the fucking blue signing of Aaron Ramsey.
We know what's winning this week.
I think it's not only we getting somebody in who's a household name in football, like we were talking about household names and all that, like Gaza and fucking Craig Bellamy and Robbie Keane and all that jazz. It's like getting somebody in on transfer deadline day, on the deadline day, makes it that wee bit more exciting. Everybody, I woke up in the morning looking at my phone, we're all saying the same things. Aye, right, no bother, what a shite.
There was not one person that thought, aye, this is a goer.
This is going to materialise, not a chance.
When I seen Fabrizio Romano, I don't think I've ever seen that guy getting one wrong. And it's very, very unusual, innit? When I seen him posting it, I was like, fuck, there might be legs to this.
Yeah.
And it's one of the ones, as a Rangers fan at the moment, it's the most excited. It's the most excited we've been in current weeks. So my nomination is the arrival of Aaron.
Right. See, from next week, I want to ban you all nominating your own clubs for things.
Well, do you know, I always try not to choose a Celtic thing because...
So do I. I went for a Tunisian one last week.
You never chose a fucking Celtic thing yet.
I went for a Tunisian one.
The Tunisian fucking Joe Aribo haters club.
Right. Okay,
After his fucking performance last night, I wish they'd been through.
I bet you wish him and Bassey had actually clashed it.
I know.
I think I'm in a loser this week. I'm stuck between two. I loved Queen of the South's tweet the other night there when they equalised against Wraith Rovers in the 85th minute when the guy at Queen of the South clearly got very excited and tweeted Shea Gordon from about 4 million yards. It's 3-3. I love that. But
has anybody seen the goal?
Oh, it was a belter. It was absolutely. It wasn't 4 million yards. I would just like to clarify. It was more like 25 yards. But I'm going to have to nominate. I don't know if you saw this interview after the Edinburgh derby. The Hibs goalkeeper, Kevin Dabrowski, making his debut, had a great match. Stopped Hearts on so many occasions. There was one save down low with his hand that he got to, incredible. But the post-match interview, this young boy's come over from Poland at the age of 16, 17, you know, he made his debut, he's battled his way into the Hibs team, first team, made his debut, had a great game in the Edinburgh derby, and then the post-match interview, he was so overcome with emotions, and you just wanted to hug him, you know, and Luke Shanley said to him, "You're quite emotional after that," and you just thought at that point he was going to greet. You thought Luke Shanley's playing for him to cry here. He's playing for the crying here.
He's wanting his Ryan Christie moment, isn't he?
Aye.
He wanted
the producers in Luke's ear. Get him to cry. Get him to cry. Keep pushing it.
Blow in his eyes.
My wife comes through while watching this, going, "Oh, what a lovely wee boy he is," you know, and I'm just like. I was just like, so we should call John's fucking moment of the week John's crush. Kevin Dabrowski, what a guy, letting the emotion run high, and I thought it was a beautiful moment in Scottish football. So
there's nothing better than seeing somebody with just buzzing about playing the game. Do you know what I mean,
John? See, if I was voting, I would vote for that.
Oh, would you, Chris? Would you?
All right. See, if I was voting, I'd vote for Ramsey.
Well, it's up to you to vote. Get on now to Football Daft Pod. The poll will be up there. What will be the moment of the week?
The poll will be up there.
The poll will be up there. Brilliant. So the poll will be up there on at Football Daft Pod. Get voting now. You can get more from Football Daft on our Patreon channel right now, patreon.com/Football Daft. You'll be able to see the video version of this podcast. You'll be able to see Stephen sitting there looking sad. Chris, you'll be able to see in his mask in tribute to Callum McGregor. You'll be able to see the outtakes from the show. Not so much this week because Grado's not here, but there's some belters from last week which were very funny, so you can check those out. Teammates. All our teammates are up there. You get a chance to be a pundit on Rangers and Celtic Daft, plus get the video versions of those. And you'll get cameos from the boys as well. If you want a birthday message, anything like that, you can get that done on our Patreon. Patreon.com, patreon.com/Football Daft, all one word. Get involved now. And talking of the teammates that you'll see, all of them up there. We'll let you hear one now. It's Dundee, Ayr, Thistle, and let's face it, fucking just about every club in Scotland. It's Gary Harkins.
Worst dressed.
I'll need to go Reece Weston. I played with him at Dundee. He played with Arsenal before that, but it was as if he was dressed up to go to a show every time he came in the mornings. He'd always had like big bright yellow socks or pink socks or something. He came in one day with a pair of Ugg boots on. So I'll need to give it to him.
Oh mate, he's coming out to work with a pair of Ugg boots on. He's got to get it for that man alone. That's got to get it.
Mate, my father's wanting about with Ugg slippers in me, man. It's fucking... He gives me the book, man. Anyway.
Moniest.
Moniest? Oh, there's quite a few, but it's got to be Paul McGowan.
Oh, he likes money. He does.
Honestly, like, see, off the pitch, he's a nice wee guy, but just the moaniest wee face you'll ever see in it. Like, see when you see him, he just moans about absolutely everything with that wee face on. So
he looks like that, doesn't he?
Just an angry wee guy. We get pulled over on the motorway one day because him and another player who's still involved in the game, so I'm not mentioning him because he's kind of managing, so you can put two and two together. But they were fighting in the back seat.
I'm trying to figure that out now.
He's managing. He's managing. He played with Dundee. It's James.
It's his manager now.
There we go then. There we go.
I don't know how long it was going to take you to actually. Other bangs that he used to have had.
Who do you want to back you up in a fight?
Gary McKenzie. Big Gaz McKenzie that was at Rangers, Blackpool. I played him at Dundee, but he once told a story about having his grand in a headlock, so I'll take Big Gaz in my back too.
You're not why fuck with him then, mate.
No, you're not messing about with him, no.
Best looking?
Oh, you'll need to go with Big Jim Laughlin for the smile.
Aye.
Big smiler.
Get your teeth out was always his saying, so I'll go with Big Jim.
Teacher's pet?
Well, there's loads of them in the game, isn't there?
Aye, man.
Need to be wee Cammy Kerr, that's at Dundee now.
Aye,
he's teacher's pet. He was always there with the manager, always laughing at his bad jokes and that, so I'll go with him.
Most skillful?
Probably two guy.
Aye.
I wouldn't say like he wasn't doing like flicks and that, but just the skill of him like passing and controlling and volleying, I'll go with him.
As Blackburn, innit? Guy.
Worst trainer?
Big Sissoko that was at Kilmarnock.
Aye.
He was some player too.
Oh, I know, but he never got. Well, he was probably still half asleep half the time he was at training. Honestly, just the most chilled guy ever. Used to have the manager shouting and bawling at him, and he'd be like, Gaffer, not today, come on. I'll agree with him.
Who never gets the round in?
I just want to say Gary Irvine. Let's see, I've known him since I was 12 and I don't think he's bought me a pint yet, so I'll go with him.
Fucking out of order, Gary, man. Out of order. Known him since 12, he still not bought you a pint.
That's it, I know.
Biggest bam-up merchant?
Craig Hinchcliffe or Willie Kinnebra, I think. Those two at Partick Thistle were brilliant. Some of the pranks they pulled on each other and our people.
Was it Rangers, wasn't he? Kinnebra was it Rangers? Was
aye, so it's kind of a story that leads on to the other one. So it's like Willie Kinnebra one day nailed Hinch's shoes to the ground. or it was the other way around. And then Willie changed Hinch's Reggie plate, like bought a Reggie plate online that said Boab, right, and changed it. So Hinch's then come in like a couple of days later in training with this ticket for the police saying they get pulled over and they had to go to court and stuff because he had this wrong Reggie plate in his car. So what Willie didn't know is Hinch's set this up and he's got like lawyers' letters and everything. So on the day that we were meant to be going to court, we were all in the minibus. Big Jerry Britton and everybody. Jerry was dressed like a lawyer. So we're on the minibus in the corner from where the court is. So Willie strolls in the corner and he's shooting at and we all jump out the bus.
That's brilliant.
That's a belter, man.
That's class. Jerry Britton done that with a lawyer. Wouldn't it take him long to look like a lawyer, wouldn't it? No?
I know.
Well, he is a lawyer, isn't he? So
Top shagger?
Craig McEwen.
There you go.
Not even not a competition there. That was definitely.
Mate, you didn't even take a breath there, just right in there. That's brilliant, man.
No,
you're the first person to answer that question.
Aye,
I know.
McGregor.
Aye.
They always go, well, you've got.
No, it's alright. He was single for most of the years I played him, so I can answer that.
Brilliant.
Best you've played with?
I'd say two guy, technically. Aye. him. Obviously, Barry Ferguson was there at the same time, and he was top drawer as well. So, but I would need to go with Tugai, I think.
Tugai.
So that's it for this week's Football Daft. Thank you very much for listening. Remember, listen back to all the Football Daft episodes in the archive right now, and you can sign up to our Patreon, patreon.com/Football Daft. If you want more content, Rangers and Celtic Daft will be back on the channel next week, looking at the weekend games. Boys, looking ahead to the weekend games, let's start off with the Saturday games. Dundee, Ross County. That is a big match.
Ross County will fucking hammer them.
I think Ross County will do them, I think Ross County they've got a bit about them, man. That boy up front's a good player, man.
Good. Yeah.
He's good.
He's looking for the bit of goals he's scored for where County are. He will be the big difference, I think, for them. I mean, they're not picking up many wins, but they're not getting many losses at the moment. So, big game for Dundee. They need 3 points out of that.
See if County can just keep the back door shut, like, because they concede too many goals, Ross County, but they're always going to score as well. Do you know what I mean? But there's something about them, man. I quite like what Malky's doing.
Yeah. See like that Motherwell game there. That was all they had to do was hold out for 2 minutes or something. Do you know what I mean? And they were very unlucky. It was a great finish by the young Motherwell player, right enough. But I just Ross County, like you say, Stevie, they seem to have a wee bit about them now, and I think they'll do Dundee handily.
Right. St Johnstone, Dundee, another big game at the bottom. Derby there.
St Johnstone, Dundee United, you mean?
Dundee United, yeah, sorry.
Well, is it at McDermott Park?
It's at McDermott.
I still think Dundee United will do them.
Aye, yeah, I agree.
It's one of the ones. I think they'll hysteria of getting that win the other night. St Johnstone's a big win for them. I think they could come crashing back down to earth.
Livingston, Aberdeen.
Draw.
I'm going to tell you a story.
Oh, here we are.
Is that a Big Brother one?
No, 2 nights ago. 2 nights ago, I put a coupon on and I put on 5 draws. And fucking Livingston fucked me. 5 draws in the week in the SPFL. And Livingston fucked me, man. I was gutted. I thought they had enough about them to do that. But I think Livy are, apart from that recent result, they've been going really well. But Aberdeen have been all right recently as well. So I'm going to say I think that game will be a draw.
Yeah, draw.
Same.
Yeah. And I tell you what, Hibs, St Mirren, that Sean Maloney needs to get a win, doesn't he?
Is it in Paisley?
It's at Easter Road.
Who is it St Mirren have just signed again? St Mirren just
Cedric Eaton, Borna Barisic.
They'll get fucked then.
But
I think I'm going to go with a Hibs victory there.
Hibs victory. Sean Maloney just needs to get. I think
he's not really done what I thought he was going to do.
Started off well, John. You're right. The first couple of games, I think it was pretty much coming up against the Celtic. Give them a bit of a fright. They've kind of went into themselves a wee bit. So, it's a project, kind of like what Ange was when we brought him in. So I think you've got to give the boy a bit of time.
Aye, definitely. They just look like a team in transition, don't they?
Aye, I think Hibs could win this one.
Yep. And then on to Sunday, both games on telly this weekend on Sky. We kick off Motherwell Celtic 1:30. Chris.
Again, John, I'm just enjoying the football. I'm not expecting anything. I'm enjoying watching it.
Fuck off.
3-0 to Celtic.
I tell you what, I mean, you look at the tail, Motherwell are going pretty well when you look at, 9 wins, 6 draws, 9 losses, but they've just this week they've posted up record profits for the club, obviously
because of the turnbull sale as well, isn't it?
Because of the turnbull sale. Can Motherwell go on?
But they got a few bob for Tony Watt as well. They got 100 grand for him as well, don't they?
Can Motherwell, go on to become that third force? I mean, back in the day, Motherwell were the third kind of for a
the new firm.
Yeah, I mean, in the 90s, like Motherwell were going good guns. I mean, Graham Alexander seems to
firm was Aberdeen Dundee United, was it not?
So it was. I thought it was Motherwell Dundee. It was Aberdeen Dundee United.
I mean, Motherwell.
I still think my answer to your question, I think, is no, John.
No,
I think no. I just don't see it. I think your Hearts, your Aberdeens, your Hibs, when they get their act together, are always going to be bigger clubs, and I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't see it. Motherwell, I just look and go.
Nah, do you know, I kind of like Motherwell. I don't know why. Because I know, like, historically, they've kind of been like Rangersy, kind of, if you want to call it that. Do you know, I think a lot of Rangers fans, when they left Ibrox after the Mo Johnson signing, actually went to Motherwell. I think their season ticket holders went up by like 2,500 a year later. But I think I like Motherwell, and I like
a well-run club.
I like to see them doing well, and do you know what they are? They're a family club.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so and I've been to Fir Park a few times, and I enjoy it. It's always a decent atmosphere and stuff like that. So I quite like Motherwell. I'd like to see them doing well, but
I play them as well, getting the money for Turnbull and then Tony Watt move and getting the books and all that. Fair play, because that's no mean feat, especially this day and age, man. The current climate.
Certainly not, especially with Scottish teams as well.
Aye.
You know, I mean, like you see, like wee teams down in England, they bring through a player and he goes to a Premier League club for 10-15 million quid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, you see teams like Motherwell bringing through young players like Hasty and stuff like that, and they it's a small transfer fee, and then they kind of fade off into obscurity. You never really hear much of them again after it. You know what I mean? So you're right, Stevie. Getting that money for Turnbull and Watt is a
great business, man. Great business for them.
Yeah, still Celtic going to beat them, aye?
Oh, fucking 114 now. At half time, but it'll finish 114 too.
Right, well, we'll see where we're at with that next week on Celtic Daft. Stephen, on at 4 o'clock kickoff. Hearts, Ibrox.
For fuck's sake.
I mean, what are you thinking with this one? I mean,
like I said earlier on the show, Hearts are more than capable in coming to Ibrox and getting something.
Yeah.
The way we are now, right? I hope they're still fighting now. I hope they're still arguing. They're still having this big heated debate. They're fucking ironing it all out. Because we need to win, because I've got a feeling we're going to be 4 points behind come 4 o'clock, come kick off on Sunday. Right.
I mean, the Hearts, I mean, they've got a good squad there. You see, I mean, Barry Mackay seems to be he's kind of playing in the kind of 10 role for them, and he seems to be thriving there.
What do you call the big, is it Ellis you call the big
Ellis
striker?
Sims that they've got on loan from Everton.
He's a handful. He is an absolute handful.
The boy in midfield as well, behind me. He's a good player as well. And then around them, you've got Halliday's there.
I think they've probably got the best. They've got the best squad out with the Old Firm. I think they're the best of the rest, squad-wise.
They're the third, aren't they? They're third place.
Yeah.
But I mean, like they're no third. Like they're no like overachieving. I think with that squad they've got, they should be up there.
I think what you're saying there, Steve, is if you took Celtic and Rangers out of the league, you'd be
definitely.
Aye.
I think I was having a wee debate on Twitter last night with this is Ibrox boys. They do a podcast. I've known a couple of times. They're going about a reaction.
You've been on a podcast apart from this one? No way.
I know, a couple. But they're going on about a reaction. We've been saying this, a reaction after the Aberdeen game, a reaction after Ross County.
Yeah.
We need a reaction after Celtic. I'm still waiting to see this reaction, and this reaction isn't going to come unless something changes tactically. And I worry for Sunday because it's going to be a the next two games are going to be very tricky. As poor as Hibs have been, you bet your bottom dollar when they come to Ibrox, they play out their skin on Wednesday night. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got Hearts first on Sunday. So two very hard games, and I'm going to say it'll be 2-0 Rangers on Sunday.
Right. We'll see where we are with that on Rangers Daft next week. Thank you very much for listening to Football Daft this week. Remember, leave a review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcast. Get us on socials, Football Daft Pod, Football Daft Podcast on Insta, and just search for Football Daft on Facebook. We'll get you on the next one.
Audio Frontier.